better? Do we not have good audio now? Okay. How's the audio sounding to those in chat? Okay, that's what I thought. Let me turn it down. Is that better? Is the audio a little better now? My first time setting up a stream, so. Does that prevent the echo as well? Yes? Okay. A little more down. Got it. How are you feeling about that? It's echoing still, or is it better? Gone? Perfect. Right, just sent in the stream notification. Okay. Ooh, how do I feel cool. And okay, are you in chat? This is not the results. No, this is me testing out. I'm just gonna be playing through the contest entries so you can see what the other levels are. Okay. All right, and okay, I think I just made you a moderator. So if you don't mind moderating chat, that'd be awesome. I've not played Silhouette City on stream yet, but I have played I played every entry several times. Hey, Maniac Dan. All right. I've gotten the idea that there is a huge delay from my end to your end, so I might be a little late in responding to chats, but all right, let me get this situated up on my phone here so I can see. Perfect. Yep, I'm going to be playing through some of the entries here. Not using this color. This color looks pretty bad, but I have started grading to those who are not in the Discord. I've graded about 110 entries so far out of the 302 that we received. So, all right, I still need to pull up one more thing here. Just give me 1 second, please. All right, let me get. Looking for this and the number randomizer. All right, in total, including unlisted entries and disqualified entries, we have 322 levels. I've been streaming in the Discord server and we've played quite a few levels already, and I'm going to be playing a couple more that I've not already played. Near the end, I will take chat requests if you'd like your level played, and that's just going to work by I'm going to say guess a number between like 1 and 70, and you have to get the number right. But for now, we're gonna start playing. Starting with entrant 14, we already played that, and generate a new one. Entrant 84. I've not played through this one yet. This is the final phase by Biscottos. So this level has been sent quite a few times. It's one of the more sent Creator Contest levels, as in moderators have been sending this one a lot. Let me check if there is a color specification on this. Pink and purple are the specified colors. So we're just going to choose a magenta, which is in between the two. We definitely have some non-Discord members, Maniac Dan. I can see a couple of them in chat. I think Billy Steak is one of them, which is really cool. Yeah, the Pod Dash is another. All right, let's play through this one. I'm going to say my thoughts on it. I always, to those who aren't in the Discord, I always try to give positive thoughts on this, and as well as some stuff that you could work on, feedback-wise. But this one's a pretty cool entry, from what I remember. Some really cool gameplay in that rocket part with the pads on either side. I really like that a lot. By the way, if there's a lag at any point, please let me know. I'd appreciate that. And this part's really cool because there's these are petals from like trees or flowers. Like that looks so sick, especially with the trees in the background. Gameplay in this one's also really good. I like how that syncs to the music. I'm not entirely sure why there were question marks there. I think there's supposed to be something confusing there, but I've never really understood what was supposed to be confusing. Maybe it's part of that coin route. Could be it. Yeah, pretty cool part. I don't really like the way this 3D looks. It looks a little on the messier side. Yeah, this part's really nice. Not a whole lot going on, but it looks pretty cool. Would have, for this part especially, seeing some like pulsey stick type air deco where you're using the pulsing sticks could have looked really cool there. Cool dark part here. I think the layering on these blocks looks a lot better than the earlier ones. It adds just a little bit of that 3D depth without making it look messy. And yeah, there it is. Like I said, this one's been sent quite a few times, which is really cool. It'd be cool to see this one get rated. Yeah, so that's the final phase by Biscottos. I think I did grade this one today, which is also really cool. All right, I need to highlight it on my sheet that I have of levels we're playing during streams. But yeah, the dungeon. I remember that playing through that one. 88. We already played 88 on a different stream. Oh, 95. I'll play 96. We've not played 96 on stream before yet, and that is Dust by A Scary Guy. Believe it or not, Fear Factory has been one of the most used songs in this contest. I can think of like 5 entries that have used this song off like the top of my head. I believe this requires white as the player color. I'm gonna double check that. Yeah, white. So, personally, I don't think white looks that great, but Yeah. Yeah, Bean Monster, it's pretty memorable to me because you used that song of mine, and that song is one of my earliest songs. I feel a little embarrassed. Hey, Cup Lime, good to see you here. I'm streaming some 1.0 contest entries. Okay, we're gonna play through Dust now, using the song Fear Factory. It's by, where's that by? A Scary Guy. I believe this is about a medium demon difficulty. Ooh. Yeah, this is a weird setup. This gameplay does get consistent. It's just a little weird when you first start playing it. I really like the aesthetic of the stars when in the quiet part. Yeah, I've been on the hard side. I still think it's around a medium demon person. This rocket part, we're getting a lot of colors, which I frankly don't think white works all that well, but that's what has been requested. Oh, and then this part is a pretty big memory section. I believe it's in this. You stay down for this one. Yeah, there we go. This part looks really cool. I like the simple design with the half slabs and spikes. I guess half blocks and spikes. Yeah, so we're kind of going between two different parts here. There's a coin down there. Don't know how to take that, but I'm not grading coin routes personally. This part I think looks a little bit on the messy side, but I can definitely see what they were going for. It gives like an interesting factory vibe. Maybe like very early 2003 Devon. You know who that is. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't think the cube portals look very good. I think if they added some like spikes behind them, it could have made it look a little bit more clear, or a little bit more hidden. We end with a pretty simple 1.0 part, which there's nothing wrong with that. And that's Dust. Yeah, thank you, Cup Lime. I'm very glad that the contest has been very successful so far. Hey, Milton, I am doing good. I figured out how to get streaming working on YouTube, which is awesome. Okay. Yeah, really cool entry. The gameplay looks a little tricky, but it's actually not too bad once you learn it. I definitely think this is a medium demon personally, but yeah, it's a really, really cool entry. Alright. It's a little odd because there's so much stream delay between the chat and what I'm actually streaming, so I'm gonna have to get used to the delay when responding to chat. Definitely something to keep in mind. We'll see about hosting a second one. 128. We've already played that one and the ones around it. What about 83? I've already played that. 251? Ooh, I doubt we played that one. We have not. Paradolia by NK Creates. Let me double check if there's any color requirements here. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, this is the one that has a boss fight, is what they said in the description when they submitted the level. And use green. So. Hey, UG51, I have not played your level yet, but I might at the end of stream, so. Alright, let's play Paradolia. Remember, this one's going to have a 1.0 boss fight. Really cool hand art there. Not too much going on, like, pulse-wise. We have a little bit of background pulsing. Yeah, feels a little on the empty side. Nothing wrong with that, per se. Ooh, what are we doing here? Do I just go over that? Yeah, that's a little confusing. Alright, we're getting missiles sent our way by this guy. He's our boss, it looks like. He's sending out attacks. It was like command finger point. Like he's Olimar in Smash Bros. That gameplay's a little interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm cheating this gameplay. It's a little weird. I might be. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pulled off, though. Yeah, a little on the outside. Oh! Oh! Should we kill or should we spare him? Gonna wait for chat to catch up. Should we kill or should we spare Lip Guy? So I'm just waiting for chat here. I know there's quite a bit of delay. Should we kill or spare? Yeah, I wish I knew why there was so much delay. Spare him! Okay, we're gonna spare. He said thanks. Gave us a coin. Now, I do know on the kill path, you also get a coin, I think. Yeah, there's 2 coins depending on which route that you take, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Otherwise, I love the ideas that this used. I do think maybe some designs could have been improved and the gameplay more cleared up. But, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool level. You showed this one some support. It's almost at 10 likes. So, I'm going to move on to the next level now. All right, let's see what the number generator gives us today. 199. We've already played that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 198, and then we'll play 200. So we're playing the 2 that are around them. Because I've not played either of those. So the first of those 2 is Inside the Matrix by Music's GD. Using Skylights by F777. I think green will probably be a good color for this one, so let's give it a play. Liking the design so far. This part's really cool with the head hitting. I like that. Oh yeah, this one has some really cool, there's a really cool effect that it does later on. Gotta hold through this part, all the bits and bytes. Yeah, this part. That effect is really cool. I really like that. Yeah, especially when there's a lot of it, it gives a really cool pulse effect. Alright, we're getting some numbers. And then having that in the grid block also gives a really cool effect. Really makes you feel like you're in the Matrix. Gameplay is a little unclear there, and that is because of the dot block. The dot block, especially if you have a part with a lot of dots, the gameplay becomes very unclear. So it's like uber important that you have indications or very obvious stuff that you know will kill you in parts like that. Otherwise, it can become a little unfair for the player. there we go, the end screen. Nice, simple part to end that out with some interesting designs. Yeah, I really like this. I think the beginning actually might be the weakest part, which for a level like this, that's honestly a good thing. So, very nice. Oh, Pod Dash, there's something called natural layering. When you place blocks more recent blocks will go on top of other blocks. So by carefully laying stuff out in a way that doesn't layer, you can make dot text. And a lot of people utilize that. There's even some dot arts in this contest too. So, yeah. Once again, I apologize for the late responses. There's a lot of delay on YouTube, it appears. More than I expected. But yeah, that's Inside the Matrix. Really, really cool project. Hello, GD Cyborg. Good to see you here. Testing out this YouTube streaming thing. 161. We've already played it, but we've not played 160. Oh wait, I was gonna play both entries around the one we just played. That's right. Let me play the other one then. The one that was right above it, right above 199 was 200. And entry 200 is Tiny Ballerina by NLK. Yeah, I remember 200 now. Sorry. It's Tiny Ballerina by NLK. Let's see, I believe I wanted hot pink as the player colors, right? Hot pink, player color 1 recommended. As you can see, this is a rated contest entry. I believe it was the 9th or the 10th rated contest entry. So, yeah, this is also NLK's 3rd entry. Really cool theme. So, I think y'all will enjoy this if you've not played it already. Right off the bat, we got some really cool checker blocks. I think these are really well done. As long as there's some beautiful cherry trees. Now, something you need to know about NLK is you will routinely find box-related arts around here. I think this might be one of them. There's a coin rod up here if you didn't know that. But yeah, you can see that there's music notes around this as well, which has helped selling that ballerina theme. Another cute box there. There was our first ballerina with some music notes around that. So we're getting some ballerina arts as we're flying through here. Those look really cool for the $1 limitations. We got some more ballerina arts. And then what happens is there's references to various ballets and operas. Maybe not operas, but different ballets. There's references to each of them. So this one's Peter and the Wolf. So we got some people in the trees and then the wolf here. And then this is the Firebird Suite right here. That's a Stravinsky ballet, which if you've never heard Stravinsky, Rite of Spring is awesome. Firebird Suite is also amazing. And then that is Carnival of the Animals by Saint-Saëns, which was adapted into a ballet. And then here's Swan Lake. That's a ballet by Tchaikovsky. As you can tell, I am quite the music nerd. I know a fair few music stuff. Yeah, really love the ballet references in there. I think that's a really cool addition to the already really creative theme. This is probably the weakest part of the level. It has different like ballerinas or female art in negative space. But it still does a good job of pulsing to the music. I just wish there might have been a little bit more stuff high above the player, so it felt a little bit more included. Because right now it feels a little bit empty on the top. But yeah, there's the ending title. Made with our daughter and a little cute heart at the end too. Yeah, I have a music degree. I have a music education degree, so I can teach music. Any type of teaching I can do because I'm a substitute, but I'm my degree certifies me in teaching music. So yeah, that's how Tiny Ballerina by NLK. This is probably one of the most creative entries I've ever gotten in this contest. Like, who knew that you could do a ballet theme in 1.0? We have another 1.0 level that alludes to ballets, which is Thornware's Pad Ballad or Pad Ballet. It's not like it's more abstract in its representation though. This is a lot more concrete. So yeah, very good level. I'm glad that it got rated as well. That's awesome to see. All right. I think we were going to play, what was the number I said after that one? Yeah, we're going to play 160 next. Have I played entry 6-7 yet? I have not played entry 6-7, I don't think we're going to play entry 6-7 because it's an unfinished project. But we'll play entry 160. Who knew you could do that as a theme in general? Yeah. I do wonder if anyone I teach knows about this contest. I do not mention that I play this game at all because I have to maintain amenity, especially since I visit so many schools. Okay, let me check if there is any color requirements. This is Pearl Blue Soul. I'm guessing it wants blue. Oh, preferably gray. That's interesting. Well, we'll use gray and play through this. See ya, New Prince. Thanks for joining the stream. Alright, some simple designs, but I really like the way those hanging spikes look. I think that's really well done. Alright, love the vibes of this part. I think the colors in the background work really well. These white blocks here. I would like to see a little bit more designs in the actual blocks themselves, because we got really intricate like spike designs. But the blocks themselves are a little plain, but now this part's really cool. Love the floating structures here. Ooh, I needed to hit that. Yeah, those spikes on the ground look really cool too. There could be a little bit more song sync, I think. No, especially with the background. The gameplay is pretty fire, all things considered. You're gonna hear this from me a lot. I don't like when entries put happy faces in the level without having a reason to do so. It feels a little unprofessional, so I don't like seeing that happy face there. Otherwise, this is pretty fire. I like those pad elevators. Ooh, that is not the best gameplay you could have had there. I like these little arm things, but that is really a difficult timing. But these are really like intricate snowflake type spike stuff. I really like that. Alright, we got a pretty simple part to wrap things up here. It's reminiscent of X-Step, and that's one of my favorite parts of X-Step is the ending rocket. And there we go, Pearl Blue Soul. Again, some art in the GG, which is really cool. Little smiley face there. See, smiley faces like that's okay, but like big ones just in the middle of the level to fill up space. I'm not a huge fan of those, but yeah, really cool level. It's also really fun. So it looks like Animal Case played this one as well. Give it a try if you haven't. I think it's quite enjoyable. All right, let me mark that down that we played that. Okay, I got entry 264. We've not played that one yet. Rise 101 by Math Plapla. I hope I said that right. There's no color specification, so I'm going to go with the blue that we're using in the 1.0 Giga collab. That's a project that's going to be coming up sometime late November to those who have I've not heard about it yet. Yeah, let's give this a play. I'm down with the song here. I remember this one being quite cool with some really interesting hand art, so take a look at that. Okay, right off the bat real fast. I highly recommend changing the ground color. So if you're fading the background to black, it's probably a good idea to fade the ground to black as well. Yes, this is the same list as the Discord streams for now. That's just because I have so many entries that I've not played through yet. There's so many entries. All right. I really like these sky structures. I think they're well designed. I like the pulsing and then the white blocks too add a nice contrast. These hanging spikes look really cool. A few monsters as we fly through here. Alright. I think the ground could be a different color here. I don't think the blue necessarily works, but I love the hands coming out of the ground there. Those look really cool. Got some more monsters here. Some interesting circle designs too. Feels a tinge messy in some spots. Might just be because of the player color using that, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Now it feels like it ends a tad abruptly, so I think it might be. I think an extension probably could have done it some more justice, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. I love the hand designs that they had coming out of the ground there in that one spot. I just wish they changed the ground color a little bit more. I don't think that like default blue worked very well. Ooh. Okay. Let's play another level here. $301. I've already played on stream, but we'll play entry 300. Yeah, entries that play around the ground are really cool. Entry 300 is Scream Room 1.0 by Windows 11. It is a custom-made, like, 9 circles level, is what they think about it. Or is what they said about it. So, like, 1.0, 9 circles. Let me check if there's any color specification here. No color specification, so we'll stick with blue. Let's go ahead and give it a play. Entry 300, Scream Room 1.0. Alright, we got some simple 3D going on, which is really nice. Some cool designs filled to space. And this is how they did the wave section. It's just this rocket and portal orb tapping, which does give the wave effect a little bit. It also just makes it a little tricky to control in spots. Yeah, really cool. I think it could have been cool if we had more colors going on in the backgrounds, because 9 circle levels are kind of known for their flashiness, and this doesn't have a whole lot of it right now. Gotta skip that orb. Yeah, pretty cool. And it would have been also cool if we had multiple strings of these spikes in different spots. And that could have looked like there was multiple layers to the block design, which is also pretty common in 9 circles levels. But yeah, love the idea. We've got some background pillars here that are showcasing that 3D, simple 3D design, which is good, cool to see. Could have added some gameplay in this section. Doesn't really feel like it matches the rest of the level, but yeah, at least there's not enough need for an epilepsy warning, so I do appreciate that, because that's one of my biggest pet peeves is not having disable flashes. Yeah, really cool stuff. They have a comment saying what to improve with their level. I would say make the designs a little bit more intricate in the wave section. as well as maybe get a little bit more motion to it. Having those pulsing sticks around the designs could have added a lot more like 9 circle feeling to the project, because right now it feels just a little bit on the static side, which 1.0 it's really easy to do. It's really hard to make something look dynamic in 1.0, so I fully understand that. Okay, let's find another level to play through here. Yeah, my forum is private right now. I will be releasing a public version of the forum and the grading as well on result day. I will be doing requests a bit later as well. I'm just playing through some random entries so you can see what cool stuff people have made. All right, next one is 222. The 222. Factorial Days by Proxy1212. Looks like we want to use top right orange or a light blue. We'll use the top right orange. That's the orange you get from completing Finger Dash in practice mode. I believe I have played the dungeon on stream, but you'll get a chance to request it after stream or later in stream, and I'll play any requests people give me. Let's check out Factorial Days using Digital Factory by Jumper. Now, there's been a lot of factory levels, so I don't entirely remember which one this is. Oh yeah, I remember this. Got some really cool fiery designs here. Some cool hexagons in the background as well. And something I really appreciate is how they made their gears. A lot of people have been making gears inspired from Tech Drive Circuit. And these look like 100% their design, which I really enjoy. I think they also look pretty cool. Like very mechanically designed. Love the pulse sync here for the music. That's a nice touch. Yeah, great lava feeling. Orange is a great player color choice. Gameplay is also really, really good for the difficulty they're going for. Ooh, except that section does not feel very comfortable. Yeah, that's not very comfortable at all. You have to wait. Okay, never mind. Apart from that section, though, it's pretty good. Okay, orange makes those orbs a little hard to see, and that is a problem that 1.0 can have a lot, is you need to make sure that the color you're using, sometimes the player color that you're using, unless you specify it, like, can interfere with how you see stuff. For example, if you use yellow and you have a yellow bounce pad underneath decals, that could really be hard to see. So in this case, some of the orbs are really hard to see when the orange blends to yellow. But yeah, really cool stuff here. Cool ending as well. Would have liked to maybe see a little bit more sync to the music, because there was that part that did a really good job, but I feel like it could have been even more synced to it. But yeah, really cool stuff. I enjoyed playing through that. Oh, you entered both Destriv CC and my contest at the same time? That is very interesting. I will tell you, Moon Explorer, though, that Destriv does not like 1.0 levels. In fact, he's said on stream he finds them lazy and spammy. And he has never he also said he's not sending a single 1.0 level ever again. Which, personally, I think is a little bit carried away. I think he's... I don't agree with the way that he has decided to go about that, but just thought I'd let you know, because he has seemed to make it clear on his streams that he does not like the 1.0 style. Alright, 144. We've already played, but we have not played 145, so we're going to play that one. Blombicus by Multitoxic Plaques, using Hell's Maw by Black Hole 12. So let's take a look at this one. Let me check through his color specification. Yellow is recommended for this one. That's awesome, because that's my normal color. These are my normal icons. I use yellow and pink because my name used to be Happy Skull before I got an account. And that was quite a long time ago. Yes, this one. Very cool hexagon designs as well as spike designs. Gameplay, I remember being a little bit finicky. So, yeah, like this jump is not very user-friendly, I should say. But really cool design so far. It's got that mechanical theme again, factory. Now in space. Got more of these hexagons. Some pretty cool designs here. Little copy and pasted. Have I played this in stream actually? I might have already played this. I must have forgot to mark it down. This is, I think, a little bit of a problem readability-wise. It's really hard to see those dots. There should really be a white line there to tell you can slide across. Then you gotta jump early to land on that. But really cool ideas here. We got some flowers and trees. This is like a great tulip design, a great flower design right there. Yes, this section. So this is a bridge section, and this, I think, is a little underwhelming from the rest of the level, personally. But I do like the spike boxes. Those help add a lot to this part. Yeah, I think the level ends with this section as well. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I think they could have maybe used a little bit more designs here. Or having something in the backgrounds. Yeah, this part's really cool. Giant white spike pillars, and then we have the constellation stars. As well as the fading blocks. I like that. It's really neat. When do I think the results will be ready? They're probably going to be ready late November would be my guess right now. We have a lot of levels to get through. We're trying to work as fast as we can, but also after stuff comes out, I have to put together the video and then compile a bunch of data that we'll need for the video. So there's a lot to be done for sure. But yeah, really cool level. I quite enjoyed the designs that they chose in certain sections. I just think the bridge part was a bit underwhelming and probably could have had a little bit more to it, you know? I would guess that the Giga collab and the video might come around the same time. But we'll see. We'll see. The judges and I are trying to work as fast as we can. That's as we comfortably can. So we'll just have to wait and see. $219. Have we played that one yet? We have not. Let's check it out. The Nature Point by D-Clan 13. I believe there is a color specification for this one. Let me check. There is not. Well, I'm going to use green because it said nature, and that's what I associate with nature. Yeah, we're going to try to get the results done as fast as we can, but there's only so much we can do when there's 300 plus entries. So we're working as fast as we can on that. Nature Point, let's take a look at it. Love to start with just a little bit of blades of grass. I think that it looks pretty brilliant. And we got some vines hanging from the ceiling here. Bit of a simple 1.0 level, which is never a bad thing. I think more nature could have been sold with using the player color a little bit more. Because right now it feels a little bit on the empty side, and I'm not really seeing the theme that they're trying to pull off very much. Now it just kind of feels like a typical 1.0 level. Ooh, cool pulsing. Ooh, that's a problem. Holy transition. Yeah, make sure that doesn't happen. You can put a block, like a half block, extending out to the left prevent that from happening. That's a simple test playing thing. I like the vines are returning. They help fill in that space in parts like that. Cool, passable grid block decorations here. Would love to see more pulsing sticks. The sticks that pulse the music. They could definitely help add a little bit more energy to this part. Ooh, another section that could probably use more land to land on. Yeah, I think having more pulse sticks is probably would be my biggest recommendation to this level right now, because the energy's a little low without them. But yeah, we still got some really cool gameplay so far. Just a couple transitional problems. Using pads as stars is a great idea. It really helps add some more atmosphere to your levels. I like to see those used here. I like fade outs like that, especially near the end of the level. This one's a little bit boring though because it's just single spike jumps. But yeah, it's a neat simple level for sure, yeah. For sure. Yeah. Really like that. Just fix a couple of those transitional points and I think the gameplay in that would be quite solid. Okay, let's go ahead and highlight that one. We have played that. Next level is level 63. We've already played. It doesn't look like we played 62 though, so I'm gonna play 62. I don't think we played this one at least. We might have, and I might have forgotten to mark it down, but this is Winter Blitz by Delinquente Dash. So, yeah. Give this one a play. I like those snowflake designs, they look pretty cool. The actual block designs themselves, though, could use a little bit more. That transition between the grid blocks is a little sudden. I think having a couple staggering out could help make it look like it's a more seamless transition. But right now I can see the seams, you know. Gameplay in this is pretty solid so far. I don't like the periods of waiting, though. I like this part. The spikes on the poles look really cool. That's a free coin. Yeah, the points with nothing in it feel a little weird and out of place, but... We got that rock float again. These look pretty cool. Another free coin. Again, I think more pulsing sticks could also help keep the dynamicness of this level up. That rocket part was really cool. Not usually a fan of those, have to avoid tapping the orbs, but they work really well there. And that's the level. Definitely on the simpler side, but I think they did a nice job with the gameplay. I think maybe a little bit more gameplay in some of those emptier spots could have worked a little better, but yeah, overall, not too bad. Let me highlight that one. Okay. 26. Aha! As much as I would love to play entry 26, we can't. It is one of the disqualified entries, and the reason I had to disqualify it is because it doesn't exist. The entry entered an ID that was a little bit too big, so I tried to find their username. I had no luck finding their username. I tried to find their level name, which is Gerg. I had no luck finding Gerg with any ID close to what they've submitted. So, it is the non-existent entry Entries 26s. I have no idea where the level is, or how it came to be, or if it even existed to begin with. We don't know. It's a mystery. And I'm being serious. I cannot find VBES's Gurg. I even searched Gurg as the username and VBES as the level name. I cannot find it. It just doesn't exist. All right, 178. The exact ID that was provided with this is 12582478883, which is 1 digit too long. So, let's take a look at entry 178. And that is Starline Crystals by RCTG. Alright. White color, player color. Once again, I do not like the look of white player color, but we will go with what they suggest. They're using Isotope by Nighthawk 22. I do not like the blind tap there. Yeah, gameplay right now feels a little bit blind. The white does look pretty good here, though. Ooh. Yeah, that's a little rough. Okay. I think you have to jump up here. No, I don't. I have to fall down here. Perfect, okay. Figured it out. Yeah, gameplay's getting better. That beginning was really rough. A lot of blind hit clicks. Yeah, really cool. I love how much white there is. I think this does make it look unique in comparison to a lot of entries. I'm guessing they're going for like a quartz crystal look. Hey, we chose the right path. Now, okay, if you're going to be doing a path like this, you should probably put the ending a lot closer, because someone's going to have to go through that spam of checkpoints and then they have to erase them all, which is not going to make them enjoy your level. Yeah, something like that is a lot better for maze parts. This part looks really cool. I like the repeating lines. Where am I? Oh, found a secret area. That transition was actually pretty good because there's a line that allowed your ship to land on it. Little copy and paste gameplay here, but I think it works. I do think, depending on how you enter the transition, it can change, yeah, because I think that's a lot harder than it should be. Hey, clouds here look really cool. The smoke as well. I definitely think the gameplay has smoothed out a little bit, because the beginning kind of seemed like they weren't entirely sure what direction they wanted to take the gameplay. They definitely figured it out by the end, because it plays quite well. Oh, choke. We got our cube UFO, which is a UFO made for the cube. Yeah, I can see where they wrote choke. This is a little bit more tricky than the other parts that we've already had. Especially with the white player color, it makes it really hard to see the orbs sometimes. That's a really cool satellite design. I quite like that. I think the spacing of the orbs in this QFO part is pretty good. Ooh, that's not easy. Oh, you can just rest on that. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for playing Sons That Can Kill Me. Oh no. Cool heart though. Alright, we got the title. Starline crystals. GG. Definitely like what they were going for in that. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I just wish the beginning gameplay was a lot better, because right now it's quite difficult. The rest of the level's gameplay is actually pretty good, but that beginning definitely makes it a little bit tricky to get through. Yeah, spikes blend in quite a bit with the white player color, so I'm not sure if white's the best recommendation. Yeah, I have full skeleton icons, or as close to skeleton icons as I could get. Unfortunately, there's no skull ball or skull spider right now, but otherwise, yeah, that's how my icons normally look. Okay, let's take a look at some more levels here. Let me mark that down as played. And see what next generation is. 127. I've already played that and the levels around it. Already played that entry too. No, I've not played this entry yet. "1.0 by Your Global Goat." Oh, there is a skull spider. Yeah, it just looks terrible. I prefer the scorpion spider over that skull one. 1.0 by Your Global Goat is entrant 69. So this is entrant 69 on the form. Why don't we take a look at it? Let me check for color specifications here. There is not color specification, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to this blue. Alright, let's take a look. Ah, yeah, they did say Time Machine inspired. So, I could definitely see the Time Machine inspiration. Gameplay is pretty solid so far. Okay, not a fan of how empty this rocket part is. I think there could have been some spikes on that. Looks like, yeah. Oh, we got another. Oh, is this this is almost an exact copy and paste, isn't it? Ooh. Not a huge fan of that. A lot of triple spikes now. Hey, what happened to the structuring in the very beginning? It kind of feels like it lost that. Oh, another very empty rocket. Okay. We have a lot of doing nothing. Not a huge fan of that. Oh, we got Stereo Madness now. Okay. Oh, it's shifting through all the beginning levels. I see, I see. I do remember this from this level. I do think that we have more rocket sections coming up that are very similar to the ones we've already had. Yeah, I don't like how the structuring from the beginning is kind of just lost now. I think that would have been a lot cooler. Gameplay's not bad by any means. Oh, we're getting more of the levels again. And this is an exact copy-paste from the beginning, almost exactly. And then this rocket part, we've already played through. Alright, we have a triple spike. Yeah. Okay, not a huge fan of how there's so much like empty space where we're not playing gameplay and we're not seeing anything. It's just empty fields. That's I don't like that. Gameplay though was not bad at all. It's okay to have simple, but I think this might have been a little bit too simple on stuff. It almost felt like they had ideas and they didn't really finish them. I wouldn't say it's unfinished, but I would say that maybe there's more that they could have added, you know? Still, pretty cool level, nonetheless. Alright, let's find another one. 143. We played that one already? Yes, we have. Entry into 270. We have not played that yet. Yeah, very copy-paste. Entry 270 is Van Dans by Grift GM. Dans Medvenen? Cine? Oh, is that Spanish? I thought that was French. All right, there might be a color specification. Let me double check. Main color 16, first row, second column of the blue section. Okay, it's Electro time, so a bit of a light blue going on here. Yeah, I remember this one a little bit. This has some really cool designs in it. Like, look at that. That's wicked. Yeah. Pads and portals. It's a little hard to see which one's a pad and which one's an orb. I like the feeling of between these structures. Makes you feel a little bit claustrophobic. Which I like. Personally, I like that in levels. Alright, down through here. I haven't had much variation, but it is still extremely cool. Gameplay is also pretty good. Yeah, love the dot art here on the structuring. It looks really neat. Ooh, final jump there. Managed to get through it. Yeah, songs. I'm not sure how I feel about the song, but it's very interesting for sure. Yeah. Really cool designs in this. I would have liked maybe a little bit more variation, as well as some more clarity between the pads and the orbs and the portals, but otherwise, pretty cool stuff. I liked it. Hey, Starcar, good to see you here. All right, let me highlight that. We have finished playing that one. Okay, let's randomize another one here. 282, we have not played yet. Let's play that one. Perfect. Perfect song for the spooky season. Necromancy by Unbatable. They do not have a player specification. I'm going to switch to orange because it's spooky season. All right. This is under 5 likes, so let's see it. Maybe you can give it some support. Let's check it out. Definitely went for a more traditional 1.0 style. Yeah, I totally forgot the song existed before I played this entry. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Like the black here to match to the music. That's really good. Ooh! Photosensitivity warning. I am so sorry, y'all. I forgot that was there. So if you're photosensitive, please turn away your attention until I say you can turn it back. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's a little bit extreme. Probably more subtle red would have worked a little better. It's still flashing, so don't take a look if you're photosensitive. All right, I think it's done. We got a cube faux part here. Cool spike designs. I like when people lattice the spikes like that. I think it's really neat. Okay, we're back to this garbage. Sorry, don't take a look at stream. Jesus Christ, why would you? See, okay, I feel like Pulsing like that just kind of ruins your level. And I see it all the time in 2.2. They pulse stuff like that, either on the block lines, the background, and it's like, why? Why do you do that and not have an option to turn that off? It's extremely annoying. No hate against this level. It's just something I've been seeing a lot, and I don't get it. I know you need your level to be intense. There's other ways to bring intensity without blinding the audience. Otherwise, this level was pretty cool. Pretty cool, simple style. I think they did a good job designing it like how 1.0 would have been designed back then. So, certainly really cool stuff. I just wish they would not have the flashes like that. Jesus. Yeah, Backbeat Revenge was an interesting experience for me because I beat it, but at what cost? We've already played that one, so we're going to move on to this next one. Okay. .0 by Hidden Depth. Use orange icons, preferably main color 29 for the best experience. That's what we're using right now. Remember this level being quite a fun level, although I believe it does get pretty difficult at the very ending there, so we'll have to see. Yeah, flashbanging. I do not like flashbangs. Dark red would have been a whole lot nicer. How am I? Starcar is asking. I'm doing pretty good. I figured out how to get OBS working and stream on YouTube, which is awesome. Let's take a look at 1.0 by Hidden Depth. Start off with a pretty interesting cube part here. Some cool designs. Maybe a bit on the messy side, personally. The gameplay's pretty solid for the difficulty they're going for. I like those dot swirls. You just have to be a little bit careful on the hitbox there. Yeah, it's auto. As you can see, the difficulty they're going for is like medium hard demon. I think I labeled it as a medium demon when I showcased this for the unnoticed levels of the week. Ooh, that's really hard to see that black spike there. That I would change to a different spike design. Otherwise, this rocket gameplay is really smooth. Very flowy. Interesting gameplay here. A little hard to read, but it is a difficult demon, so that works just fine. Got our short hop gameplay idea there, which love to see new gameplay ideas in 1.0. Yeah, most of this gameplay is pretty banger. There's just a couple of spots that I'm not a huge fan of. Oh, you gotta do that. And then this is gonna be like a black orb. There we go. Got it. Alright, here's where the gameplay gets a little tricky in my opinion. It's pretty consistent spam related. You have to be you have to time it right. And you gotta be careful not to hit those pads, which is harder than it looks. I'm sure this is really fun once it gets consistent. I've just been struggling to get it consistent for a while now. I've played this a couple times in practice mode already. There we go. Love that blue portal fall. That really gives it like some direction as you fall down to the end there. That's a very clever way to finish off the level. Yeah. Really cool stuff. Might be a little bit on the unbalanced side. Looks like it was a collab with Fate 7, so that might be why we had a little bit of a difficulty imbalance. But yeah, really cool stuff. Yeah, use Sinking Feeling by Waterflame. Love Sinking Feeling. Great one, Waterflame song. We'll get to 1 point stars at some point, probably. Yeah, that is 1.0. 154. We've already played. All right, we're going to play 27. Those who watched me in the Discord stream are going to be familiar with this guy. LD Likes Cats 3D World 2. I'm sure Hi There Eric is very excited to see another level by this creator. For those who don't know, this creator, LD Likes Cats, entered the contest 7 times. 3 of their entries were disqualified. For various different reasons. But let's take a look at the second version of 3D World. This one I wasn't as much of a fan of personally. I like 3D World 1 better, but take a look at this one anyway. Same designs from 3D World 1. Just different gameplay here. Adding in some ramps, though. That's pretty cool. That jump is a little tight with just the way that the spikes had to be laid out. It's a really cool effect. I just wish there was more to it, because I'm pretty sure it's just entirely this the entire level. I like the way that this syncs to the music. That's a really nice touch. And then it just kind of ends at the drop. Not a huge fan of ending at the drop, but I do wish there was a little bit more going on with like maybe pulse sticks or stuff in the air deco. And that it was a little bit longer so that we didn't end on the drop, but really cool, creative stuff. Yeah. Although it is pretty derivative of his first 3D World level. But nonetheless, cool entry. Yeah. Also love this song. We have a couple entries that use the Empire Toads. It's one of the more popular ones for this contest. 8-0. We already played. Already played that one. Oh boy, we got a fun one coming up here. Hang on 1 second, I need to respond to my girlfriend. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. Ads Ballad. Ads Ballet. Depending on how you want to pronounce it, by Torrenware. This is another rated entry. This entry has probably some of the coolest designs I have ever seen a 1.0 level pull off. So let's take a look at it. I believe it wants us to use a specific pink color, though. I think it's this one. Let me just double check. Oh, it's this one. There we go. Wants us to use this pink specifically. Yeah, I also agree. This one was definitely robbed of feature for sure. It definitely could have gotten epic in my opinion. Like, this was completely robbed. My guess is there was a mod. Because if you don't know how it works with 1.0 levels, whatever the mod sends it for, it gets one quality lower. So my guess is a mod sent this for a feature and it got just started. If it's sent for an epic, it usually gets featured. Which would explain why we only have 4 featured 1.0 levels in 2.2. Let's take a look at this one. There's a lot of cool stuff to take in here. Look at how intricate these designs are, especially with the pads. That's why it's called pad ballet. There's so much cool pad designs here, like especially the circular ones. Those look so cool. That one looks really nice. I believe we also have that as emoji inside our Discord server. Because for those that aren't there, if your entry gets rated, we add an emoji. If it gets featured, we add 2 emojis. So the emoji for that one was the handy spiral pad circle. Look at how detailed these are. Like, this is insane. Now, what I will say is I don't really think the pulses match the music all that well, which is my biggest complaint about this level. And I don't think it syncs too terribly well with the song. Or it could have synced better, I guess. But this is gorgeous. Those cylinders made out of the lines also just look wonderful. Really, really cool. Those like pop out as 3D structures. Gameplay is also pretty solid. It's mostly auto though. I think that's just to work itself around all these insane designs. Like, Tornware is a beast when it comes to this type of designs. It's like a visual eye candy. And there's Tornware's name. Got some other really cool intricate swirls there, as well as the double helixes in the background. There's just so much to look at. And those are really cool hexagons. I've never seen that design before, so yeah. As you can see, really, really cool stuff. I totally agree that this is one of the most robbed rated entries right now. This definitely deserves to be featured. Maybe even potentially the first one Little Epic. But yeah, unfortunately it is not to be, but really enjoy it. For sure. We'll see if I get one of your entries, Ultra Gamer. I've already played G-Universe, so we don't have to worry about reaching that one. Okay, let's see what's next. 99? Have we already played 99? We have not played 99. All right. So this entry has a bit of an interesting story to it. When it was originally submitted to me, it was way too short. Like, it was 20 seconds long. So it was initially a disqualified entry. But then they updated it and made it long enough. And let me just say, there's it's a weird one. We'll just go with that. So you're exploring the depths of a cave. These are the rocks of the cave. It's pretty freeform gameplay, but there's massive choke points, like unfairly difficult choke points throughout this. We're about to reach one, I believe. Yeah, right here. You have to do a short ship tap to get through that, but it's like absurdly difficult. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why that's so hard, but you have to do that twice. I'm gonna try to go above here. I can. There we go. Yeah, it's just so many absurd spots where it's like, if you had a test player, that wouldn't be a problem, but... Gotta go up here, but you have to get like a perfect ship arc. Not a huge fan of that. Also, like, the music is almost non-existent. It's just cave noise. Here's that micro tap we gotta do again. Now we finish the level. The rocks look really cool, but that's all there is. There's no pulse sync. There's hardly any music to even pulse to. The gameplay has really hard choke points. It's pretty creative. There was also a start pause problem at the beginning, but yeah, that's the whole level. Really, really odd entry, but it's got some really creative ideas. Yep, that's it. Yeah, there's obviously no playtesters for that, which... always a good idea to find at least somebody to playtest your level, or at least playtest it from the idea that I'm a new player, I'm playing my level for the first time without anybody, or without any knowledge in mind. That's always a good idea. We're on entry 246. Ooh. Eclipse of Color by Fireflame Boy YouTube. Or YT. Let me see if there is any color specifications for this one. There is not. I'm going to change it to... Let's do blue again. Using Dimensions by Last Heroes as an NCS song. There's hardly any likes on this, so maybe let's try to boost this up. If you need the ID, it's right here. You can come by, swing by, and give this a like. Help boost their like value. Yeah, I'll be taking requests in about 15 minutes here. Take a look at this. Oh, it's this entry. Yeah, so this one's quite hard to see what you need to do. There's really cool designs, but it's also extremely difficult to see what kills you and what does not. Which I personally wish that was a little bit more obvious. Looks pretty cool from a visual standpoint. There's just a lot that kills you that doesn't look like it should. And I think visual clarity is a very important thing in levels. Ooh, we got a blind orb jump there. But I like how there's background close to syncing the music here. Another blind jump there, not a huge fan of that. That's a really cool gameplay gimmick. Syncs really well with the music too. Another blind jump. Ooh, how am I supposed to do that? Oh, there we go. I have to pull the momentum for that first orb. There we go. That ending was actually pretty cool gameplay-wise. The designs are really cool. I just wish it was easier to see that gameplay, because that was a little bit rough to have to figure out the first time when I had to play through it in practice mode. Otherwise, really cool entry. This is one of those entries that I think could look good on most colors. I really like the way blue looks on it, though. Yeah, lots of blind jumps. Sorry about that. Let's find the next level here. Highlight this in green. Got time for a couple more before we switch to any request. Okay. Heavily confused by Falling Pie. To those who don't know, Falling Pie is the first person to get a 1.0 rate as their first creator points since 1.0. They got nighttime rated. That was their first creator points ever, was on a 1.0 level. This is their second entry to the contest called Heavily Confused. They made this entry because I was saying, hey, we have like no 2 stars for this contest. Hardly any 2 stars at all. And they're like, okay, I'm going to make a 2-star that's fully auto except for the last jump. This is the joke entry, and this is going to be insanely hard for me to grade because I don't know how to grade auto gameplay. But let's take a look at it, shall we? Falling Pie made 2 entries. They made Nighttime and Heavily Confused. They only made 2 entries. Not a huge fan of this remix. Yeah, we got pretty cool visuals here. One of those classic autos until you get to the end, at least. This part I really like. I really like the tree art there. I don't think this part's all that bad. I like how it's a dual part, and the puzzle pieces look really cool. Interesting sections. Get prepared, y'all. Jump! That's all I have to do. Cool normal face there. Heavily Confused has the abbreviations here. This is some really cool dot art. Yeah, that's the level. It's pretty much an auto with a spike at the end giving off. Spike is over there vibes. If you never played that level, you definitely should. Really cool stuff. It's been sent a couple times. It'd be really, really funny to see that rated, actually. 71. It is Cold by Furby76. Film has hardly gotten any plays. So, might be a good idea to give it some support if you want to. Here is the ID. 126-869-880. Alright, I remember this one being a little bit on the hard side, so let's take a look here. I remember this one being quite a difficult entry. Also, photosensitivity warning. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. That is really bright. Jesus. Again, I don't understand why people do this. The level would look better with more subtle pulsing, honestly. That's just way too bright. Interesting dot part here. I remember this being a little bit hard to get through. always a struggle for me to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Come on. Is that how I'm supposed to do it? Yeah, okay. Quite difficult there. This orb part's actually pretty good, all things considered, for chip orbs. The designs are interesting for sure. Oh, I just kind of wish the gameplay's a little better, because that's not easy. There we go. You have to fall there. I think you have to fall off. There's just some really difficult timings there. Perfect. Yeah, this is definitely hard demon edge. Got a little bit more bright stuff here. Oh, do I have to? Oh, that's absurd. Really? That's what I have to do? I have to jump all the way over that? Wow. That's crazy. That gameplay was really hard. It might be, cause you gotta keep in mind, it's like, 45 seconds, I think. Yeah. It's 45 seconds, which I think does put it at hard demon, like a difficult hard demon ranking, but, interesting gameplay. Really difficult gameplay, though. I believe this person creates mainly impossible levels, so you can kind of see where that's coming from, their gameplay-wise. So I see some of us are saying Insane Demon. I do think it's still probably a hard demon maybe, but it might just be, maybe I'm delusional. Quite difficult. 248. I don't have this saved. Hold on. Oh, they misspelled it on the document. Sonolysis by Torparna. Is it verified by somebody else? I think I remember what this level is. Let me check if there's a player color. This is the theme they're going around is black. I mean, player color black? Surely not. Play with blue. This is Sonolysis by Torparna. Torparna's entered a couple times, and I believe, yeah, this is the style of 2 of their entries. I think this is their best entry, though, especially gameplay-wise. Gameplay is awfully satisfying to pull off right there. Now this section I'm not a huge fan of, but it'll just be a skill issue on my part. Oh yeah, and then you have to enter this pad row in a correct way, which is really annoying, and honestly might be a little broken. What am I supposed to do there? this is not fun. Huh. This is possible. I've played through this in practice mode. Just what is going on here? You have to enter this a certain way, I think. There we go. That is an absurd timing. I'm sorry, but that's not well play tested at all. I'm shocked they were able to verify that. My guess is this was not verified legitimately. Yeah, it's just a shame because a lot of this gameplay is really good. But a lot of it just feels like it's extremely poorly play tested. Ooh, that's a blind jump. I'm a huge fan of that. There we go. It says the title. And that's it. The progress bar is severely broken, but yeah, it's a frame perfect jump. It might be a latency problem too. Not entirely sure, but it's a really interesting style. I just wish it would change up a little bit, as well as maybe playtest some of that gameplay, because some of that was really good and others of that was like near impossible stuff. That's merely a playtester problem. They probably should have had someone else play through that for them. Alright, we're going to play one more level and then we'll switch to requests. This will be the last level before we do requests here. And you can request any contest level when we do that. 265. Starry Madness 2 by Dawn Official. This is a weird looking level for sure. Kind of has a similar vibe to the previous level we played. Oh, there's a blind jump there. There's a blind jump there. Quite a few blind jumps in this level, you're gonna find out. And I don't like a lot of them. There we go. It's extremely precise. And I gotta do that same jump down here. Come on. Jump down there. Yeah, a bit of memory is required for this. Oh, I did do that right. Perfect. This car has some cool designs to it. And then we're going to get some cute faces here. The hitboxes on these pillars are a lot larger than they look because of the black spikes around them. There's also black spikes around the cubes, which is a little annoying. As you can't see any of them. You just kind of have to know they're there. I don't like when gameplay does that. That's a really cool monster, though. I would like to see some pulses of some kind as well. Right now it doesn't feel like it really matches the music. I do really like these funnel designs. They look quite cool when you don't have colorblind indicators on. Sorry. I like my colorblind indicators. The rocket part's pretty fun. Got more of these giant tubes. Well, that's a little deceptive. I think I have to hold there, but you just gotta click through that. Finally get our first bit of color at the ending here. I don't quite understand what this is supposed to be. I think it looks a little bit beginner-ish. I certainly feel like they could have probably did a better job there. Don't like the random black spike there either. That's a cool teleport concept. And we have a blind orb there. Ending with a pretty interesting rocket section here. Yeah, that's Staring Madness too. Ugh, there might be a secret way I didn't bother checking, but gameplay's a tinge rough with all the blind jumps in it. A little bit strange there, but it's got some interesting ideas. I believe they said they were inspired by older demons when I last heard, which I can kind of see where they're going from. I also don't entirely see where they're coming from with that, but yeah, pretty cool level nonetheless. Okay, y'all, here's what we're gonna do. I am thinking of a number between 1 and 64. You have to guess the number when I say go. Okay, let me think of the number. Go ahead and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Go wait for chat to catch up here so I can see the numbers. Then we'll see who got the closest. I'm gonna write stop and I do not see the number that I had. Who's the closest to my number? Maniac Dan is the closest. Maniac Dan, if you could tell me which level you'd like played, I'm assuming it's Maniac Dan Holiday. The number was 45, by the way. Number was 45. Yep, okay. I thought it was your entry. Maniac Dan Holiday by Maniac Dan. So I'm going to go ahead and play with blue. This is a awesome entry in terms of progression. Yeah, it was 45. So, let's take a look at this. Starts off extremely simple. But I think this also helps sell its progression. Getting a little bit more complicated as the song builds. I like the brick additions on the sides there. I think those are supposed to be buildings. They look pretty cool. Gameplay is also pretty phenomenal so far. Designs are getting pretty cool. I like the black outline along those blocks, as well as the cubes that are peeping through in the different spots. Although you kind of did the skull icon dirty. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, look at that guy. Look how you massacred my boy. Love all the different cubes here. That's really cool. Maniac Dan Holiday. Got the really cool effect of the chains as well as those grid blocks. Gameplay is still really good. I love how that house looked 3D. That's so cool. Great play on perspective there. Using the spammed, putting the pulse sticks over each other to create this dual color. That dual color is really cool. Got circles here. Those look really cool. Gotta jump into those pads. Really like the ramps here as well. That is some really neat stuff. Some interesting perspectives on the 3D. The art in this part looks incredible. Like, genuinely, this looks so cool. You got a piano too. Just awesome stuff here. We're up near the ceiling as well. We're flying back down. Back onto some more houses here. Maybe even in the construction zone. That flag is really cool. Downspad Mountains is where we just came from. We're back to this simple spot, like how it began. Insanely well done. The progression is perfect. The art is like extremely good. It didn't even feel like we were boosting up to the top, but the entire time we were just rising up and up and up, and then we fall all the way back down. That is like a masterclass in how you build a level, progression-wise. Just insanely good stuff, for sure. Have to see how it grades. I'm not sure how it's gonna hold up to the grade scale, but I really like that entry. I would love to see that get rated. That is a really fun entry. Just from a design perspective as well as a playing perspective. Okay, I'm going to say go in chat, and then you have to choose a number between, we'll do 1 and 37, or what, 36. Alright, put in my stop marker. Let's see if anyone got it. This is going to be quite delayed on your ends, but... Oh. Oh no. Did anyone get it? Nope, we go off the closest. My number was 23. The closest was UG51 of 24. Sorry, 23. I typed that wrong in chat. I'm assuming you want your entry played, so... Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, boy, boy. Okay, okay, okay. Y'all are in for the long haul. UG guessed it first. UG guessed it first. Okay. For reference, before I start playing this, we had 4 people who did XXXXXXXXL entries. New Prince GD, Nitro 2, King K64X, and UG51. 3 of those were 12+ minute long levels. This one in particular goes all the way to the editor length. All 12 minutes, 52 seconds. They also didn't verify it in time, so it's an unlisted entry. It's actually one of the last entries, the last entry on my list. So, the only one that got verified on time was King K64X's entry, G-Universe. But this one's still really cool. We're going to still play through it. It's an unlisted entry. But you can take... Oh, you can play it yourself if you go to this ID. 126916433. They are working on verifying it. I believe it would make an excellent demon when it gets verified. But let's take a look at it. Some corner spike jumps start things off, but they're set up quite well. These stars look really good. Not a huge fan of the colors in this part. The gameplay is really well designed. I like the trail showing you where to go on the rocket part. Helps fill in the space, also guiding the player. That's always a cool thing, especially if the level this long. This is the Forgotten Factory. Once again, I think the background color could have been a little bit better selected, but gameplay is pretty good so far. It's maybe a bit on the hard side for how long it is, you know? This is the Chronic Temple, so we have our clocks here. Now those pulsing sticks are pulsing clocks as well, they're just a little hard to see. This is also a really cool creative gear design. I like that a lot. I like how it's square. It helps set it aside from the other gears. The Lost Dimension. I love how it's just broken into a bunch of different parts. This is extremely good 3D. We're also at 10% of the level. I think this 3D looks very well. That orb is way too hard to see. I would recommend toning down the portals so you can see that. Yeah, really cool looking part there. The Modern World. Got some cool box designs. Also, I like the designs on the side that makes it look like it's ramps, but it's actually just dot blocks being spammed up on each side. That's really cool. Very clever detail. Flower Forestry. No, my blue doesn't look too great in this part, but that's because it's supposed to be flowers. Probably green would look the best here. And we got a bunch of flowers here. Deep dungeon, here we go, deep into the dungeon. I think gray could look better than green, but I can definitely see where you're going through forth with this. I like the variation on the half blocks there. What did that say? Sparks of light? Yeah, I think sparks of light. Oh, this game mode is a little hard to control. Just a little hard to control. This part's fun. Dreams of Light, we got our Cubifo. I highly recommend erasing the orbs that are behind the blocks. I think it'll make it look a little less messy. Because right now you can kind of just see those orbs through there. Otherwise, this part looks pretty cool. I like the big old like ocean stuff pouring down. I don't think I'm supposed to be upside down there. Am I? Can't even tell. It'll probably reset my gravity. Okay, it does. The Madness Maze. Gotta pay attention ahead of yourself. It's not too difficult. I really like the ground and the ceiling in this part. I think the change really adds to the atmosphere here. To the grave. This is actually what I suggested. I suggested that he add a graveyard. And they did. And the graveyard looks excellent. Like, this looks incredible. With the trees in the background and the tiny graves here. Really like the way that you designed this graveyard. Gameplay out there is also fantastic. Another end. This is inspired by every end. We're 30% through. That gameplay is also really good. The Impossible Quiz. So here's the quiz section of the level. 2 + 2 is 4. Pick the hardest. Can't let go jumper. Time machine. I believe time machine is the answer there. Verified firework. That was trick, so it's going to be B. Verified cataclysm was riot, I believe, which is also B. No, it was Giron. I am completely wrong. Sonic wave verification was Sonics, which is C. It was supposed to be wrong, but it didn't end up happening. Pick the hardest. Exo, 8-0 are high. Exo is definitely the hardest of those. Non-extreme, falling up box, or 8-0X or Aternus. Aternus, it's named after that normal level, because Aternus is not rated either. 2 + 2 + 2 + 2 is 8, which is B. Alright, now we're on to the can't let go part. You have to hold through this. Which, I like this gameplay in easier levels. I'm not sure how it works in this. I think it's okay. Especially since it's just one section. But yeah, really cool looking thing. I love looking at how these levels work. The cold levels. Chilling on Ice. This is probably one of my favorite parts visually besides the graveyard. I like the blend between the snowy and the non-snowy blocks. Especially if blue, it kind of gives that ice feel. Quite like this section. Deep sea fishing. Don't know why that orb is there. We're 40% the way through. We're swimming with the fishies and the jellyfish. Really like the way this looks. Alright, just checking chat real fast. Desert Temple. I'm assuming this is Michigan inspired. Yep, Britt, Michigan. For sure. Some of our newer players probably don't know who he is, but he's a legend. Don't think blue works entirely out here, but that's probably my fault for choosing the color. Pixelation. This is an interesting part. You don't see this very often anymore, the portal spamming like this. Also like the ones and O's. back to playing. One of the longer sections, I believe. Flappy Bird. So this, how it works is you have to avoid hitting the orbs, so it actually kind of feels like you're playing the actual Flappy Bird. Which is really cool. Normally people just do a QFO here. I think this works even better. What did that say? Thought of? Not entirely sure what they're supposed to represent, but I do like the designs here. I think they look pretty creative. I like factory-esque, but with their own spin on it. Okay, City of Lights. This part looks really cool. The windows are just crazy good, well done designed. They're using portal clusters to get the different colors, which I think looks brilliant here. Really, really creative application. Probably one of my favorite parts. Construction chaos. I also really like the way they designed the beams here. I think those look really cool. There's a bit of a split route there, it looks like. That's for the coin. The spike mines. This is where they go to mine spikes. We are at 60% in the level. I really like the way they designed the rails for those minecarts. They look really cool. Starlit Sky. Bit of a break part here. Just always welcome on a level this long. The Sky Isles. I don't like the way this part looks. I think the islands could have looked a little bit better. I also understand that you're running with a very long level here. Hi, what was that? Kingdom Crown, I think is what it says. Yeah, so this is a bit of a medieval castle, which I really like the look of. Very much on the simple side, but I think it looks pretty good for what it is. Hexagon Force, 70% in. Of course, travel level like this has to have a hexagon part, right? I do like what they did with the pulsing hexagons. Really helps it stand out from other hexagon levels. And looks really neat. The Mega Mountains. Not sure what the grid blocks in the sky are supposed to be, but this part does have pretty good gameplay. Magma Falls. Like if I was using player color orange, this would look a lot better. I'm not. This would be a magma part. Right now it's a water part. Blue. Not sure if I like how much default block was used here. I feel like better for the different block. Fading Ruins. I really like this part. I think this works excellent as the ruins blocks, especially the blocks in the floor. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe part, 80% in. I think this is a really creative part with all the water spilling out of the pipes. That looks really neat. It's quite simply done, but it's so effective. I really like the water spills as well. That's really, really cool. Routed Realm. Okay. I do not remember how I'm supposed to do this part. I'm going to wait for chat to catch up. UG51, what am I looking for when I'm playing this section? Because I don't understand how to... Because this is a giant maze, and there's only one correct route, and it took me 20 minutes in the editor to figure this out last time I was there. How do I figure this part out, UG? Follow the half blocks. There's like 50 different half blocks. Oh, I'm following the inside blocks of the half blocks. Oh, that's the wrong way. That makes a lot more sense. It's still extremely difficult to find the way through. Yeah, that's the only way through. What did that say? Downhill Dream. Really cool part. I think this flashes through a bunch of the different sections we already visited, which I think is brilliant. Like, that's the graveyard, that's the quiz, that's the chill realm, that's the sea, the bit zone, the sky isles, the city section, the starry nights, sky isles, hexagon forest, mountains, ruins, pipe dream, maze. This is it. Editors. And we are almost there. 90% in. Got a bunch of dedications up at the top there. Hey, there's me. Like the stars at the top. That's an effective way to show the credits scene. Now, some of you might notice that it is slightly desynced, and that is because when levels this long go without like a song trigger, just the song straight, the game will slightly desync you. And that's a fault of the game, not a fault of the creator. Now, the Giga collab we're making shouldn't have that problem because I got song triggers lined all the way through the level in several spaces. But levels like this, they might suffer from a desync problem. I know Eon had several because of how long that level is. Ah, yes. You have a bunch of frame-perfect triples at the end of your level. Good luck verifying that. Yeah, good luck verifying those triples at the end. Those aren't not going to be fun. But yeah, really, really cool project. Wish it was longer. Really, really cool project. I love all the different sectors. It has some of probably the more creative ideas for sectors that I've seen in the game. So, excellent stuff. It's just a shame that they didn't verify it in time for the contest, because it's an unlisted level right now that's not verified. So, otherwise, really cool stuff. You really cooked with that. Yep, our movie is done. Which means we can move on to the next chat request. Alright, put it in chat. All right. My number was -3. Billy Steak got it. It was -3. I do love my negative numbers, so. Billy Steak, put in chat. What do you want? I'm assuming your own level. Billy Steak, what do you want played? What level, Billy Steak? Still waiting on Billy Steak to tell me what number they want played, or what they want played. I'm assuming it's their own level, but do you want Purgatory played, Billy Steak? I'll wait a little bit, waiting for chat. You can just tell me the level title. Tell me the level title. I have it saved probably. I'm assuming it's Purgatory. Right? 1, 2, 5. Oh, it's not Purgatory. Oh, you want Purgatory? Okay, we'll play Purgatory. So this is Billy Steak 3's entry to my contest. Let's give it a play. Really cool bridge design there. Like how it blew us into the ceiling at the very beginning. I believe that this is acting like a boss fight section. The boss monster's throwing out projectiles. That one's also throwing out projectiles. Ooh, a little bit of tricky rocket there. Okay, I don't like when levels say hi. I think there's better ways you could have filled that space. Yeah, we got some elements of monsters coming out here. Got monster right there. Alright. Yeah. The only problem I have with this level, the biggest problem I have with this level is that there's a lot of empty space where there's like no gameplay. And I do think it's important that you keep your player engaged. So like stuff like this, I would like to see less of in levels. We got our maze section here. Ooh, I got that coin. So pro. A little bit of pad spam here. I'd like to maybe see a couple more structures here. Gameplay, for the most part, has been extremely good. Haven't had any problems with that so far yet. But once again, there's a lot of just like empty space in these parts. Even just having like grid blocks connecting these to the ground can help break up some of that empty space. So that's what I would recommend most of, is filling in some of that space. And also try to avoid saying hi in your levels. It can look a little bit of, unless there's a purpose behind it, it can look a little bit unprofessional. Drop. Gameplay's still pretty good. Alright, this is the boss fight section from these monsters. They're firing spikes at me, so I gotta be careful here. Ooh, dangerously avoiding these. Once again, it could have been cool if we had some like the passable grid blocks through here, kind of like making like maybe spikes or mountains. High is important for the lore. Ah, okay, so that makes sense. Is that like the souls crying out high for you then? Perhaps that might be why it is. They lost their teeth. They're becoming weaker. We're just slowly destroying them as we fly through here. Oh, they lost their eyes. I think we killed them. Yeah, this part looks like it's almost maybe unfinished. It almost like there's supposed to be like structures or beams coming from each of these spikes. So I'm not entirely sure what that is about, but nice thanks at the end. Yeah, pretty fun level. I do wish that some of the empty space was filled in, because it does feel a little bit, don't take this bad, but it feels maybe a tinge boring right now with all the spots where you're just gonna have to rest. I would maybe find some ways to put in some like spikes or blocks to add more gameplay in those sections so that the player's just not sitting, you know? Otherwise, I think this is a solid start. Solid start for sure with your levels. Yeah, I quite enjoyed playing through that. Thank you for sharing it. Effect layout, that would be really cool. Okay, it is time for another level. So I am getting this prepared. And so let me think of a number. There we go, the next one's in chat. I put the stop in. Let's take a look, see if anyone got the number. I'm not seeing it so far. Okay, let's see if we can find one that's close to it. Oh. That's pretty close. Okay. I think Starcar, you got it. Starcar got the closest first. Number was 77 and they guessed 76. So Starcar, I'm guessing you want me to play Lava Hell Map? Yep, okay. Lava hell map. No, maybe you can help me answer this, Starcar. Why did this get disliked? Was this... Do you know who disliked this? Because I know they also disliked your top 2 posts, as well as, I think, another one of your levels. Do you have any idea who did this? Because this is extremely unfortunate. This level is really cool. Do you have any idea who did the disliking? Does dislike botted? Yeah, I know it was dislike botted. I just was wondering if they like messaged you or anything, because crazy. This level's really awesome. It's also been sent quite a few times, so... Very fun gameplay so far. I like the fiery visuals, especially with the pads. Kind of showing the particles of the fire. Got some lava pools on the bottom. That's awesome. I like how that's different from on the top. The spilling looks really cool. Dark part for this section of the song works really well. We got a QFO section. This one looks really clean because there's not any orbs behind the structures. And we got our spilling lava here. That's really cool. More QFO. Yeah, really fun stuff. That gameplay is solid. You get some ramps here. Love ramp gameplay 1.0. You don't see it very often, so love that you put it in here. Yeah, solid gameplay. Visuals I also think are pretty solid, so really nice stuff. You did a good job with that for sure. It's just a shame it got disliked on it, because I certainly think that could be rated. Great stuff. Okay. Let me find another set of numbers to pick between. Are you think of a number? Okay. Bring it in chat. All right, let's see. I'm entering it right now. Congratulations, Keyhole God. You got the closest. Go ahead and tell me the name of the level you want played. Yep, it's the golden ratio. I just entered phi as my number, the golden ratio. .1 stars. Ah, my sunrise. I remember this level being pretty fun, so. Excellent click gameplay sync. I also really like these tower designs. I think that's really neat. So far, the gameplay is insanely fun. Really enjoy the gameplay. Visuals also work pretty well. It's really cool to see. Very solid level. We're in the space station part. I like the white spikes. They help add a good contrast to the rest of the level. Some cool pad designs like what Foreignware might do. Excellent. Those look really cool. I'd like maybe to see a little bit more background scene. These blocks are really neat. Fun fact, I'm doing a similar block design in my next upcoming GJJ series. They're just a little bit larger than that. But those look really cool. I haven't seen anyone do those in the contest, so awesome work on that. They really help add something to that part. And then these swirly platforms look really cool. I really like this dot section with those swirling masses. And then it ends like that. Brilliant stuff. Genuinely some brilliant stuff you did there. And the gameplay stayed really fun throughout, so I think this is a solid entry. The only thing I would recommend is maybe some more background pulsing to help sync to the music. And maybe some stars, because we have that space design, so maybe some more stars could look really cool. But yeah, solid stuff. I am quite a fan of that. Really good, really, really cool. I can imagine the hitboxes were a huge problem, but you did a great job working through those. Okay. This will be the last level. This is going to be the last level. So this is going to be the last one. I'm going to decide our range for numbers. Actually, we'll do something a little bit different. All right, we're going to do something a little different here. Remember, this is going to be the last level. And I'm going to put it in chat now. Oh no. Someone put in my letter after I typed in stop. Which means I'll just have to go off the closest one. Which is gonna be 4 chairs. All right, we're playing square dance. All right, now there's been quite a few. Wait, you guessed Q? I didn't see that. No, you didn't. You didn't guess Q first. You guessed Q after I said stop. No, you guessed it after. Yeah, yours was after the stop. Proxy was also after the stop. Remember, if you're after the stop, Proxy did not guess it before. Proxy was after stop. At least on mine. On mine, it was after the stop, but it must be pretty close. It's probably a latency problem. We're going to end with Square Dance. I'm going to stream again, though, so you'll have a chance to have your level played in a stream later. We're going to play through Square Dance, though. I believe this has been sent by a couple mods already. And this is that gameplay-focused, maybe medium-hard demon. So, a lot of people love this gameplay. I'm having a hard time getting around it. Like this beginning, I can totally see why, but there's a couple spots like this orb, I don't feel like this orb is entirely right. And this part, I just don't get. I've struggled a lot trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do in this part. Like this, I just don't know what to do in that section. So, I struggle a little bit on understanding why this gameplay is, why people love this gameplay so much. Because it is really creative. I'm really struggling or trying to figure out how to do this. Like this part is really good. I think that's excellent. This rocket part, I think, is also pretty fun. They did a nice job designing this. The pulse sync in this level is also just immaculate. Like, the pulses are so well done. Yeah, I think that rocket part's fine. This part, I think's pretty all right. This concept tends to be a little buggy, especially on different devices, and I've never had luck getting these to work correctly. This ending part is excellent. Hit the ground first. Really like that ending. Oh, I need to time this correctly. Get up to there. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people really like this gameplay. I have mixed feelings with it. I don't know if it's just a skill issue, if it's a hot take, but that part in the Q part around like 30% with all the portals, I just can't understand, because it plays a little differently every single time. The same thing with like the short hop portals in that cube section. I haven't been able to get them to get consistent, and I've played this in practice like 4 times. So I don't know if that's just a skill issue on my part, or if there's maybe like a playtest problem in those spots. The pulsing is excellent. The layout and the structuring is very, very good. I just have a really hard time with some of the gameplay spots in this, and Other people don't seem to have that problem. Like Embed loves the gameplay. Urana loves the gameplay. It's one of their favorite entries. Gameplay's best they've ever played. I just don't feel it personally. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like a me problem or if there's a problem in the gameplay. I'm just not sure. I will say though that is a really well put together level. So it's probably just not for me. Is probably what it is. The other judges might enjoy it a lot more than I do. I just struggle a lot with certain sections of this. So it's not a bad level by any means. It's really excellently well put together level. It's just maybe it's a me problem. But yeah, that's Square Dance by 4 Chairs. I highly recommend checking it out if you don't. It's been sent quite a few times. It'd be awesome to see that one rated as well. All right, y'all. I think that's where I'm going to have to put it for tonight. So thank you all for joining the stream. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So it was a lot of fun. I'll stick around, maybe answer a couple questions in chat. Otherwise, have a good rest of your night or day. I will stream sometime in the near future. This seemed to have been a success.